Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to each and every one of you. Glad that you are here. I'm glad to be here. You know what? Once again, we're going to be dealing with the Torah portion for this week, as well as we're going to be talking about a number of other things. And yeah, we're going to have a wonderful time. We're going to have a wonderful discussion. We're also going to open it up for questions. Yes, we're going to be opening it up for questions now, too. I want to say that, this is going to be the last day that we have this particular format. And we're going to be changing our format and doing things a little bit differently. But hey, we are delighted to be here, glad to be here, and we're going to have a wonderful discussion. Shabbat Shalom. It's Shabbat morning coffee. Here we go. We're going in.
Malkia Uriel. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down, to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant.
Yes, we are back. All praises to the Most High. Let's look away to Him, because we are a people that not only can come together, have fun, not only come together and talk about the scriptures. Yes, we can debate, we can do a lot of things, but guess what? We also pray, yes, and we rejoice in the Most High. To say that we're balanced, yes, we are balanced. We are different Hebrews than others that you may encounter. Yes, because we believe and we hold to the foundation of the eternal scriptures of the Most High. And so we look away unto Him and we call upon His name as He desires. And this is what we do on a continued basis. So let's look away. Let's look away together. Oh, blessed are you, Most High. El Elyon, Atayada she'anachnu ha'am shaladrik shelek. You know that we are the people of your covenant. Gam Atayada she'anachnu havimochan kol halevim. You know that we love you with all of our hearts. Enachnu po le'evero chayao. We are here to serve you, Most High. El Elyon, we are here to serve you. We submit to you this morning, this time, this day, on this Shabbat. We say, Slikha lanu, forgive us, ki chet kol het, gam racham lanu, have mercy upon us, ki Adayada she'anachnu ohavim ocha. You know that we love you and that we obey you with all of our hearts. I pray for my brothers, my sisters that are here, even for those that will hear the words that you will inspire us to speak this day as we teach, as we bring forth your presence. We open up the doors of our heart. We open up the windows of our mind, that your wisdom and that your inspiration would shine through In your name and in your name alone, Yahweh, we give you the praise, the glory, and the honor. In your name, Aman wa Aman. Yes, and now we're going to magnify the Most High, and we're going to do so by going to. I want to go back to Psalms 9. Listen. I know that praise that I do, that's on my heart too. That's on my mind too. All praises to the Most High. But you know what? I want to go into Psalms 9, 1 and 2. Come on with me if you're bold. Come on in with me if you dare. Let's go ahead. Let's go in, y'all. Here we go, everybody. Most High. All right. As you know, we'd love to keep praising him, but you know, we have to get into what we need to get into. Want to give some shout outs. Got to give a shout out to my brother from another mother. Yes, you know who I'm talking about. My brother Bergen Paris, who is the chief moderator here, keeps us laughing. He is a great individual, a good brother, and I really appreciate his presence. I appreciate his help, and as well, I appreciate Josh and Penny smoking in the Smokies. I appreciate Josh and Penny. Love them too. Absolutely love them too. And, you know, I appreciate them. They are our moderators as well. They help us out. They do a great job. And you know what? Between Bergen and Josh and Penny, they make an excellent team. They make an excellent team. Also, I want to give a shout out to my sister who's right up in here, y'all. I'm talking about my sister Jacqueline E. Bugs. She is here, but guess what? Also, Yah Only Tanakh Study is up in the house. And so want to give a shout out to Yah Only Tanakh Studies as well. We're giving shouts out to Ben Naphtali. Yes, and to my sister, Hanaya Israel is also in the house. Peace and blessings to you and to your husband. May you guys be blessed. Also, did I see James Hardy up in here, y'all? Did I see James Hardy? Did I see James Hardy is up in here? Peace and blessings to you, James Hardy. I want to give a shout out to you as well. And did I miss anyone? Yeah, I did. I'm not done yet. Uriah Lesh, yes. What did I miss? What did I miss? Well, we are just getting started. We're just getting started, my sister. And hey, I am so glad that you are here. May the Most High bless you. Glad that you are here. Hey, let's go ahead. Also, who else? We also have Yakahi is here. Also, let's see here. Doing the math, crunching the numbers. Who else is here? All right. It looks like we may have everyone. We'll try to get more. Shabbat Shalom to each and every one of you. Shabbat Shalom to each and every one of you. You all, I am so excited. This is going to be, as I mentioned, this is going to be the last format that we have in this particular style. We're working on a new format. And yeah, we're going to be introducing it first to our moderators, and then we're going to introduce it to you. Very excited. We've got other wonderful things that are coming up, and so we want to make sure that you stay abreast, make sure that you know what's going on. So hey, let's go ahead and dig in. All praises to the Most High. We bless him, we honor him, and we magnify the Most High. He is the reason that we live. He is my life. Without him, I would not exist, and I truly am shrouded in his presence. I dwell, I abide in the secret place of the Most High, just like you do. And I abide under his shadow. And he is a fortress. His very presence is a fortress. And so I give the Most High praise. I want to say Shabbat Shalom to each and every one of you. And hey, let's go ahead and dig in. Now, you know, we have a very interesting read for this morning. Now, we're going to be talking about, and this is fairly new. We weren't doing this before, doing the Torah portion. This was actually requested that we do the Torah portion, and I've got a number of different subjects that you all have suggested that we definitely want to get into, and I have not forgotten them. They are documented, and we're working things out so that we can get to all of them. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for what you're doing. I want to say, just before we get into the Torah portion for today, that, you know, I don't want to keep talking about the you know, the different levels of contributing for the university. I just simply want to just remind you all, if the Most High puts that upon your heart, please flow with that, and let's just, you know, kind of keep things moving here, because we have a lot to do, and I can't do everything by myself. Of course, I do need your help. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go right into the portion of the Tanakh, and we're going to head in because this is interesting. Now, listen, those of you that know me, you know that Deuteronomy is one of my most favorite books. It is my favorite for reasons that we are going to see here and now, um, because it is, as a narrative goes, it is from the first person. It is from Moshe himself. These are words as if we're sitting down talking to him. And we begin, even in this particular reading, we begin even with a very serious moment and statement where he is sharing his heart. Listen, um, let me even say this before we get started. Um, Concerning many things, I hold the view of a mythicist. Well, what that simply means is I do believe that there was an actual Moshe. I believe that he actually did write according to Deuteronomy 31 and 9. But I believe that individuals added to his writings, and I believe that they became expanded and expounded upon by many individuals who embrace the same heart and the same inspiration. And so I think that that's where we get the Torah, or the, yeah, excuse me, the Torah that we have today. I think that that's where we get it from, that there's been other individuals to write and to add to it. Now, we could say that as we get to the end of Exodus, and as we get to even the end of Deuteronomy, you notice certain things there that must have been written by other individuals. And even though it is attributed to Moshe, there's many parts of this that it would go under the banner. It would go under the banner of, pseudepigraphic, meaning that it was not written by the individual that claims to be the author per se, but that does not mean that it is forged. There is a difference between pseudepigraphical writings and those that are outright forgeries. But hey, that's a scholarly discussion that we're not going to get into in this moment. But suffice it to say that, you know what, I love Deuteronomy. I love it because it is within itself. It gives you a picture of what Moshe is saying from a first-person perspective, which is what it should be. And so here we go. We're going in. We begin with Deuteronomy 3 and 23 as the beginning of our writing. Now, the format of this is, I'm not going to read every verse, but we're going to skip through the reading, and we're just simply going to highlight some things, and then we're going to move forward from there. So here we go. We're going in as we take a look at Deuteronomy 3 and 23. It starts off right away. Notice what it reads. Moshe says, "And I besought Yah at that time, saying, O Yah Elohim, you began to show me your greatness." Now, this is what Moshe is saying. He said, you begun to show me your greatness. Now, when he says thy servant, Moshe is actually talking about himself, and he's of course addressing his servanthood, but which, by the way, when the Most High says you are my servant, or he calls you my servant, you have to understand what that means. This means that there is something held for you in perpetuity. I'm talking about the way that the Most High speaks. I'm talking about the way that he deals with his people. Whenever he says servant, you're his servant, there is something for you coming up in the future, and something concerning you even after your death. The reason why we still speak of Moshe today is because of his high stature, and because he was a servant of the Most High, and the Most High perpetuates his legacy and perpetuates the works that he has done. And this is what I'm talking about. Even after you're gone, if you are a servant of the Most High, he will put in store for you other things. You will continue, your name will continue. Well, guess what? He also called Dawid Hamelech. He called David his servant. And guess what? We read in Jeremiah chapter 30, verses 7 through 9, we read where the Most High says, you know what? I'm going to bring you back, David. I'm going to bring you back, and you are going to be my prince, the prince that's noted in Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. And you are going to be, yes, you're going to be my Mashiach. You're going to be my anointed one. You're going to be the king that reigns. You're going to be my Messiah in the last days. Well, this is what we gather. This is what we gather from not only Jeremiah 30 verses 7 through 9, but other scriptures. But it proves my point that when the Most High calls you a servant, there is something held in store for you. In other words, you've made a mark with the Most High, whereby you are going to be kind of like Enoch and walk with him and be remembered throughout all ages. And it's just simply because you are a servant of the Most High, which means you got something coming in the future. And what I like about this is when you take a look at Isaiah 43, Israel is the servant of the Most High. So therefore, the Most High has something in store for all of us if we be true Israel. So here we go. We're going back in. Moshe says, "O Yah Elohim, you have begun to show your servant your greatness." And notice what he says, "and your mighty hand, for what Elohim is there in heaven or in earth that can do according to your works and according to your might?" Now, this is significant because the Most High allows us to see where, for those of you that will remember, you remember where in Exodus, the 33rd chapter, well, it's basically that entire section, 32, 33, and 34 of Exodus, where Moshe was dealing with the children of Israel, and you know that they had made the great sin of the golden calf, and they made an idol and they worshiped it. And Moses went up and tried to atone for them, and he said, "You know what? If you don't forgive them, then blot my name out the book." And the Most High He reestablishes for everyone to understand that no one will die or give themselves up for anyone else, that every man must stand for his own sin. The Most High said, "No, Moshe, you have not done any wrong. I'm not going to blot your name out of the book, but I'm going to blot the name out of those who have sinned against me." That being the case, the Most High lets us know that no one can die for your sins, which is why we stand flat-footedly upon His word, and we do not agree with those who say that someone has died for their sins. Well, as we continue forward, in those moments, Moshe said, you know what? I need you to show me your glory. And so the Most High puts His hand over Moshe's eyes and says, "You know what? I'm not going to let you see the front part of me, And He says, "No man can see my face." Now that's where the scripture says that no man can see my face and live. But if you notice, that was in the context of the glory of the Most High being shown unto Moshe. And for those of you that know, for those of you that are students of the scriptures, you know that the glory of the Most High shines out of the face, which is why in Daniel, the 10th chapter, when Daniel begins to speak of Gabriel, he says that basically his face looked like the sun. Why? Because there was light shining. The glory of the Most High was shining from his face, and it was like, I don't know, like the sun, right? Almost like lightning or like the sun. Well, that being the case, Most High said, you can't see me in this condition and live, right? And we have to understand that in context. You can't see Him as He is showing out His glory from His face, as He's on full beam. You can't do it. You can't take it. So He said, you know what? But what I am going to do to protect you, Moshe, I'm going to show you my glory, but I'm going to let you see behind me. I'm going to let you see my train that fills the temple. I'm going to let you see my garments. I'm going to let you see, the glorious and beautiful splendor of garments that I have on. I'm going to let you see all the spiritual glory, if you will. I'm going to let you see that. And so Moshe says here, you know what? You have begun to show your servant, begun to show me your greatness and your mighty hand. For what Elohim is there in heaven or in earth that can do according to your works and according to your might? And then he says, I'm praying here. Please, look. Let me go over and see the good land that is beyond Jordan. And Moshe is talking here. Moshe is telling what he did. He says, look, I besought the Most High. I'm like, come on, please, listen, you've begun to show me your glory. Please let me go over. Let me go over this Jordan, and let me go over this mountain and this Lebanon. And notice what he says. And Moshe is honest. He says, "But Yah was wroth with me for your sakes. He was angry with me for your sakes, and would not hear me. And Yah said unto me, Let it suffice you, speak no more unto me of this matter." Now, I'm sorry, but listen, I'm sorry. This is so personal, and this is so intimate of a revelation, and it's so intimate until it's amazing to me. As many times as Moshe bent the ear of the Most High, and the Most High said, "Okay, with this thing here," the Most High said, I'm not going to do this. And in fact, I don't even want you to talk to me about it again. Stop asking me. Don't ask me that anymore. But he's like, "Man, please, come on, let me go over. Let me go into the promised land." He's like, "Nope." That's one of the things I love about the Most High, is that he is not to be toyed with. He's not to be kidded with. He's not to be played lightly. And in the midst of this relationship, with everything that has happened, everything that was done, at this particular point, Moshe is told, "No, you will not, definitely not, go into the promised land. Because you of all people should not have done me the way that these other people are doing me." Our relationship, it was stronger than that. Our relationship was deeper than that. And in this, you cannot help but to see the heart of the Most High and the mind of the Most High, and say, you know what, this is a real individual that we're dealing with here. Okay? It's not like, see, and I say this because many people feel like if I say these words or if I do this, then I'm going to placate the Most High, and he's going to be like, "Okay, I'll give you what you want." But as we see here in this passage, this is not so. You cannot placate him. You cannot pacify him. You cannot just say nice words and it work. Okay? What is of most importance to the Most High is obedience to the laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High. It's obedience, right? Why? Because within those laws of obedience are keys to the universe that must be worked exactly as they must be worked. You can't fudge them. You can't make up something on your own. Nadab and Abihu tried that, right? You can't make up something on your own. You got to do it the way that he wants you to do it, because within the laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High, there are interwoven the keys of the universe and how things work. So the Most High needs us to be obedient. He needs us to be true to his word, true to what it is that we said that we were going to do. And so that is why there is no room for fudging. There is no room for moving. It's like this. You tell your child, "Do not touch the hot pot that's on the stove." They're like, "Oh, my mama, my daddy love me. They ain't gonna let nothing hurt me." And so they reach up and they touch the pot, burn themselves, and start crying. Well, see, there are certain things that are just real that you cannot fudge it. You cannot. Hey, there's laws of the universe that must be obeyed, and so those laws of the universe are interwoven into the statutes and the commandments that we participate with. So the Most High is training us. He's training us on a very deep level, on a very high level, if you will, on how to negotiate the worlds that are before us. This is all practice, my brothers and sisters. This is all practice. But let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. So the Most High says, "Nope, you are not going in, but be satisfied with this right here, right? And I'm gonna show you something here, okay?" Verse 27. It says, "And go up to the top of Pisgah, and lift up your eyes westward and northward and south and east, and behold it with your eyes." Listen, I'm not going to let you go in. I'm not going to let you experience it, but I am going to let you see it. Okay? Now, you're not going to go over this Jordan, but I'm going to let you see it. I'm going to let you see what's going on. And I'm even going to let you, I might even give you a little bit more of a vision, right? But hey, guess what? You are not going into the land. Why? Because I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. This is something that we have to really embrace as we begin to think about this particular time, this particular season that we're in. Many of us are used to being Christians. We're used to being forgiven by just whispering something under our breath, Lord, forgive me, and thinking that that's going to make everything, magically delicious. That the Most High is going to be like, oh, okay, you said that? Oh, okay, we all right now. No, the Most High is not, forgive me for saying it this way, but the Most High is not one of your little knucklehead friends, right, that you can get over on and just say anything. He's not someone that you can placate, right? You can't play with him. You can't pacify him. You have to come correct or don't come at all. So as we take a look here, notice what it reads in verse number 28. It says, but charge Joshua, and encourage him. Okay? That's there for a reason. Encourage him. And strengthen him. Moshe was to do two things, right? For he shall go over before this people, and he shall cause them to inherit the land which thou shalt see. Joshua is going to be the one that's going to take them further. You cannot take them any further, Moses. Now, within this is something that is very potent and powerful. It lets us know, like Dawid HaMelech said, give me to know how frail I am. Give me to know the number of my days. The days, even though Moshe was great, his days were numbered, and now he has to hand over the baton of leadership into the hands of another. And for all practical purposes, except for the fact that he is the servant of the Most High, which means, again, that there is something in store in perpetuity for him. He's always going to be remembered. But for right now, guess what? You need to let go of the baton. You need to let go of the reins. It's time for someone else. Time for someone else to pick up the reins and to run with it. But with that being the case, I mean, all of us need to take a look at ourselves. And this is true for all of us. It's not true for everything in our lives, but it is true for some things, that there's some things we need to let go right now and let someone else handle it. Let go and let someone else handle some of the things in your life that you have proven that you need help with, that it's greater than you. It's more than you. Either you learn to master it or you put it into the hands of someone that can master it. Here, Moshe is being told, look, you need to let go of the reins, and it's time for Joshua. This is Yehoshua's time now. Okay? It's time for him to step up, so I need you to do two things. Now, what we're going to read here in verse 28, Deuteronomy 3 and 28, it goes along, believe it or not, it goes along with Deuteronomy 8, verses 15 through 18. Okay? But notice what it reads here. But charge Yehoshua and encourage him. Right? And strengthen him. Where have you seen before where the Most High told someone to go and encourage a leader and strengthen a leader? Okay? Notice at the beginning of Moshe's walk with the Most High in Exodus chapter 3, where he is commissioned by the Most High, we see some things that need to be noted. We notice that Moshe had such a serious insecurity. Moses was so insecure about the way that he talked. He was insecure about his diction. He didn't have the ability to speak as he should, let alone to stand before Pharaoh, right? So then here Moses is dealing with his insecurities before the Most High. There's a burning bush in front of him. And as he's looking at the burning bush and looking at all of this glory and splendor that's before him and being told something that would knock you to your feet, go and deliver my people, Moshe harps on his insecurities and the fact that he cannot speak. Now, he's watching a tree that is burning but not being consumed. He's hearing a voice come out of a tree that doesn't have vocal cords. In other words, he's experiencing miracles. And not only that, but he's shown miracles. He puts his hand into his bosom and it comes out as white as snow, right? He puts it back in and it becomes the same melanated flesh that it went in as. In other words, it was restored. So then the Most High tells him, throw down your rod. The rod becomes a serpent. And then, of course, the Most High tells him to do something that you are never supposed to do to a serpent, which is pick it up by the tail. Why don't you pick a serpent up by the tail? You pick it up behind the neck so that it can't bite you, right? But if you pick it up behind the tail, it will turn around and bite you. But the Most High says, pick it up by the tail, which was another miraculous thing, because when he picked it up by the tail, guess what? It turned back into a wooden staff. Now, he's watching all of this, but yet and still, Moshe is stuck on his insecurities because he's feeling weak, and he needs to be encouraged that he can do it. Right? So the Most High sends Aaron, his brother. Well, you know the story. You don't need me to rehearse that. But I need you to overlay that with this verse that we read, Deuteronomy 3:28. The Most High told Moshe, I want you to take Joshua and I want you to encourage him because he needs it. You can't see it, but maybe that should be back here in parentheses, because he needs it. And strengthen him because he needs it. For he shall go over before this people, and he shall cause them to inherit. Now, there's a lot to unpack here, and I'm not going to take as much time as I'm taking with these two verses, with all the rest of these scriptures. However, there are some things that I want to definitely mention here. Yehoshua, called Joshua, he was dealing with insecurities just as much as Moshe was dealing with insecurities. And so this is why, when we take a look where the Most High told Moshe, and in fact, let's go there real quick. Let's go there really quick. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I lost my place. Hold on. Notice what it reads in Deuteronomy 18. I may have said 8 and 15. I meant 18 and 15. Notice what it reads here, Deuteronomy 18 and 15. And your Elohim, Yah Eloheka, will raise up unto you a prophet from the midst of thee. All right? Of your brethren, like unto me. This is Moshe talking. He says, like unto me. In other words, he's going to be like me. Now, who else is a candidate to be most like Moshe other than his servant that followed him around and that was with him, okay, and that would not leave the tabernacle, would not leave the temple? Who else could be like him other than his servant that has been following him and taking after him? But not only that, even as Moshe had insecurities, Joshua as well had insecurities. But notice how well this fits. It says that the Most High is going to raise up a prophet from the midst of you, right? And he's going to be of your brethren. In other words, of your bloodline. Okay? And he's going to be like unto me, and he's the one that you're going to listen to. And according to all that you desire of Yah, your Elohim, in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of Yah, my Elohim, neither let me see this great fire any more, that I die not. And Yah said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, Moshe, like unto you. Now, the Most High didn't say like unto me, but he said to Moses, I'm going to raise him up like unto you. He's going to be one like you. And I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. So in taking a look at this then, we see that this definitely, Yehoshua definitely fits the bill, because he is like unto to Moshe. He has insecurities like Moshe. He is of the brethren. He is the servant of Moshe. And so Yehoshua definitely fits this. Joshua, son of Nun, does actually fit this. Well, let's go back to Deuteronomy, the 3rd chapter. So this definitely does fit, okay? And what this says to us, and it says a number of things to us, but just let me point out just a couple of different things, that, really, we are more so concerned about our insecurities, but the Most High is not concerned about your insecurities. All that stuff that you look at yourself and you're like, man, I wish I could change that. I wish I could change this. That's your hang up. That is not the Most High's hang up. That's your hang up. You're saying that if only I had this, if I had that, if I could be like this, if I could. Listen, that's you, okay? The Most High does not bear or even talk. Let me put it to you this way. He doesn't even consider your insecurities, okay? Your insecurities mean nothing to him because he can override them. He can bless you too. He can strengthen you. He can, whatever your insecurities are, hey, he's got something for them. It's you and I that get hung up over our insecurities, right? It's not the Most High. Well, with this being the case, there were insecurities that Joshua had, which is why the Most High said right here in verse number 28, I want you to charge Joshua, okay? I want you to charge him, but I need you to encourage him, and I need you to strengthen him, because he needs both of those. He needs to be encouraged, and he needs to be strengthened, right? Because he is going to do this job. Now, as we get into chapter 4 here, this becomes one of the wonderful parts of this book that once again just expounds upon our duties and what it is that we're to do. So let's go in real quick. Take a look at this. Chapter 4, verse 1. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you for to do them, that ye may live, and go in and possess the land which Yah, your Elohim, has sworn to give to your fathers. Now, I need to put all this in context. Moshe is talking to us here, but listen, we need to look at this as if this is like a deathbed confession, or this is like a deathbed, one last stab at trying to fulfill your destiny. So we need to really take a look at what is being said in Deuteronomy, and we need to look at it closely, because this is Moshe realizing he was already told, look, you're not going, you're going to stay here. They're going to experience these blessings. You're not. And he was looking at the handwriting on the wall. Look, I'm about to die. I'm about to check out of here. And I believe that Moshe knew it, right? As we get a little further, you're going to find out that the Most High actually told him, look, it is your time. It is your time to go. And Moshe was feeling that. And so Moshe has taken one last stab at fulfilling his destiny. He's like, man, I got to do this. I got to make sure, I got to make sure that they understand. So then he goes into chapter 4, okay? And he's really trying to stress to them, hey, you need to understand, you got to do these statutes and these laws so that you will be able to go in and possess the land. Okay? In other words, if you don't keep these, you will not be successful. You will not go in. You will not possess the land. Excuse me. Excuse me. So if you do not keep my laws, statutes, and commandments, you will not be able to go in and possess the land. So Moshe is really trying to drive this into him. And for good reason, because he knows his people, and he knows that the moment he turns his back, like when he went up to spend time with the Most High, they turned around and made a golden calf, okay? They turned around and made a golden calf, started worshiping it, after they said, we gonna do what you said, right? After the law, after the fire, after everything that happened, they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna do it. Oh, by the way, he's not here right now, let's make a golden calf. Moshe knew that the minute he turned his back, they were going to be like, look, that was yesterday, this is today, make us a god. And he knew this, right? He also knew that once the Most High blessed them with everything that they wanted, everything that they needed, and they ate of the fat of the land, and they, drunk the milk and the honey, and so forth and so on, that they're going to be like, God, we need to serve who? Man, I'm too busy living large. I'm living large. And so they would forget about the Most High because there would be no need for him. Sad to say, many of us only call upon the Most High when we are in need. Right? We call upon him when we're in need. And so this then becomes a problem because we can't seem to cherish him and honor him unless there's a problem that he can solve. And listen, if that's you, then that's proving that you're using the Most High as a kind of, like a butler. Just give me my blessings or just solve my problems for me. You're using the Most High rather than developing a lasting relationship with him. If you have a lasting relationship, then no matter what happens, you're going to be tight, you're going to be close, you're going to seek him every day. But if you're just using him to solve your problems, then the only time that you would call upon him is when you have a problem. And how does that feel, right? Don't you have people in your lives that the only time they call you is when they want something? The only time they're being nice to you is when they want something? No. You see right through that, and so does the Most High. So he does not want that as well. So as we continue here, Moshe is going through all of this, and he's saying, look, I need y'all to understand this is serious. I'm on my deathbed. I'm getting ready to get out of here. And I need you to understand, okay? You have to do this. This is not optional. Keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High is not optional, okay? And notice what it reads here. For what nation is there so great, verse number 7, who have Elohim so nigh unto them, as Yah our Elohim is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that hath statutes and judgments and so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? Right? Verse number 9, only take heed to yourself and to keep your soul diligently, lest you forget the things which your eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them to thy sons and to thy sons' sons. Now, I'm going to stop right there, because when you take a look at verse number 9 is actually very, very deep. And if we were to do what is necessary for verse 9 to be heeded to, notice what it says. We would have to take heed to ourselves. What does that mean? What does that mean, take heed to yourself? What does that mean, take heed to yourself? If you were to take heed to yourself, basically it was said like this: know thyself. You need to really do some introspection, okay? And you need to really know yourself to the point to where you're picking yourself apart, and you understand your own shadow characters. You understand the deep, dark, dirty things that you would do, and you understand what you would do for righteousness. You have to know yourself, right? And not, don't sugarcoat it like some mothers do their children. Oh, I know my boy would never do. No, your boy is a little hellion when he goes to school, and he's terrorizing people. Oh, my little Egbert wouldn't. My Egbert, Hercules. Listen, your son is a terror, okay? And long story short, you can't put blinders on. You have to do what I believe it's in, is it Psalms 25? Let thine eyes look right on, okay? Oh, I believe that's Proverbs 25, maybe 25 and 4. Let your eyes look right on. Right? In other words, you see, you keep your vision straight, but you also see what's ahead of you. Don't blink your eyes. Look, take it all in and see what you're supposed to see. Take it all in, note it, right? Walk soberly, don't be crazy. Just walk like you got some sense and know what's ahead of you. Don't pretend like you don't see the bad in yourself, or you don't see the bad in even your own children, or the bad in even your own mate. Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It'll make you feel better, right? I remember back in the day, I was, man, what was this guy's name? They called him Prophet, man, I forget his name. But anyway, he was, he is a prophet. He used to come to town. And I'll never forget, I had to pick him up from the airport. So I'm picking him up, and I had to take him around different places. And, he started asking me some questions. And so I answered. He asked me a question about, my children's mother. Okay, I'm divorced from her now, but asked me about my children's mother. And he's like, asked me questions about our relationship. He says, you told me everything, but you didn't tell me everything. You told me the good parts about her. You didn't tell me the bad parts about her. I was like, oh, you got time for that? I mean, do you? That's not funny. You got that much time? Okay, let me stop. Let me stop. No, my kid's mother, she's a great woman. She's a great grandmother, and I'm just kidding. Uh, Greenup, that's what his name, Prophet Greenup. Anyway, no, Apostle Greenup, something like that. Anyway, so anyway, he was what he was advocating, what he was getting at was I needed to see the bad and the good, and I'm saying that to each and every one of you. You need to definitely be able to see the bad and the good. Don't hide. Listen, the ugly things about yourself, don't hide them from yourself. You got to run towards them. You got to face them, right? Because those are going to be the things to bite you in the end. Those are going to be the things that will cause you to cause your downfall, and you don't want that. Look at verse number 9. Take heed unto yourself. You have to be the one to take heed to yourself, right? This kind of reminds me as we talk about this. You have to take heed to yourself. There is something, and I'm just going to share this only because this is an example. I was at work one day. I was out in the field. I was at work one day. And I just, it was just one of those situations where I couldn't avoid it, but I had to blow my nose right where I was. So I blew my nose. I grabbed some toilet paper, some napkins. And I was actually working with someone, right? And so I blew my nose, and this person did not tell me. You know where I'm going.
It's 1
This
o'clock.
person did not tell me that I didn't do a good job and that I really needed to wipe my nose some more. I didn't even look in the mirror because I didn't have a mirror, right? And I was expecting this person that was with me to tell me. And I was upset with them that they didn't, because we later went into a store and people were just looking at me. They were looking at me like, doesn't he know that he has something? And we know what it is. We say you have something, you have something on your nose, and we know what it is, right? You have something on your nose, and no one told me. But you know what? At the end of the day, it really was my responsibility. It really was my responsibility to look, to get a mirror, to look, and to make sure that I was all right. It wasn't his responsibility. It was really my responsibility. And in life, it really is our responsibility. Now, granted, there's going to be some things that we can't see, but these things are things that, the Most High will put people in your life that will help you to see them, or he will open up your eyes so that you're able to see them. We need a mirror. Everyone needs a mirror. Sometimes that mirror is a friend. Sometimes that mirror is a situation. Sometimes that mirror is poverty. Sometimes that mirror is a hardship. Sometimes that mirror is something that you least expect, but every one of us needs a mirror, right? So in verse number 9, the admonition is, look, you need to take heed to yourself. Now, this is deep, because you're really talking about getting into your own psychology. You're talking about getting into your own psychology. You're talking about digging into your own nefesh, your own soul, your own living being. And you're talking about actually negotiating all of those spiritual, rivers that are on the inside of you, all of those different compartments. You're talking about actually taking inventory of those things and dealing with those things and becoming the master of your own territory. I did a series many years ago, many decades ago, and I entitled it Conquering the Inner Kingdoms. We have inner kingdoms within us that must be conquered. Now, let me give you this example. One of them may be finances, right? When it comes to, buying something, maybe some of you ladies, you're like, man, I just love a good pair of shoes. I will pay some money for shoes, and your closet is full of shoes, right? Well, that's in the area of finances. You need to take control over them, over your love for shoes, right? Because if you look at your budget, I bet you could take some of that money and do some other things with it if you didn't have so many shoes. And it goes for men too. I mean, we buy gadgets and other things. Now, I don't know about others, but back in the day when I looked at my budget, the greatest thing that I bought, or I should say the largest amount of money that I spent on things were like food. eating out here, eating out there. Well, see, if we conquer the inner kingdoms and we understand ourselves, you'll understand, you know what, that's a weakness of mine. I need to get on that. I need to conquer it. Here, Moshe is saying, in order for you to follow the laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High, one of the first things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to really take heed to yourself. You're going to really have to understand who you are. You're going to have to dig deep, which means you have to be the one to dig into your own heart, your own mind, your own soul, and negotiate this stuff. Ask yourself, listen, do I have a problem with this? Do I have a problem with this law? Do I have a problem with this statute? Do I have a problem with this commandment? Do I have a problem with this? And where is that problem? Where is that? And what do I not understand about this? What is it about this that's giving me a problem? What don't I understand about this? And be honest with yourself. If there's something you don't understand, be honest and say, I don't get it. I'm having a problem with this. So only take heed to yourself. And notice what it reads here. It reads, and you are the one that's going to keep your soul diligently. Now, in the religion that I grew up in, they said that Reverend Fatback was keeping my soul and watching over my soul, which didn't make sense, because if Reverend Fatback is watching over your soul, how come you're going to be judged alone? How come Reverend Fatback ain't going to be there to say, no, I was watching over his soul and this is what, how come he's not going to be there? He's not going to be there because it's not his job, it's not his business. Okay? You are the one to keep your soul. You are the one to watch. You are the one to be diligent. You're the one to keep your eyes open. In other words, you are the only one taking care of you with the Lord's help, with Yah's help. You're the only one taking care of you. Period. Point blank. No one else has that responsibility. No one else has the responsibility of making sure that you're good, making sure that everything's all right. No. Where you end up in life, that is all you. That is all you. No one can bring you there. No one can make it happen for you. That is all you. So he says, you know what? In order for you to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, you have to take heed to yourself. You're going to have to dig deep. You're going to have to get into your own inner psychology. You're going to have to really, and you know what? Where I find that this really hits home is in our feelings. Yes, I'm talking about feelings on Shabbat morning. Yes. Because many a times, either we don't validate our own feelings, and then we wonder why other people walk over us, or we're so oblivious and blind to what we truly feel and think, because we're so used to catering to others and pleasing others, because we want to be liked, because we are not self-affirming. You need other people to affirm you. You need other people to say nice things about you. You can't say nice things about you. Right? So you need other people to say nice things about you. And even though they do say nice things about you, you still can't accept it and hear it. Okay? Because inwardly you are broken. Part of your soul that's broken, where you cannot accept a positive image of yourself. Okay? You need to do the work. You need to dig deep. You need to do the work, because sure enough, whatever that thing is, it is going to stop you from following the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High. So you do need to dig into your own soul, your own mind, and you need to definitely understand your own feelings and own your own feelings, okay? If you don't own your own feelings and you don't validate your own feelings enough to communicate them, then how can you expect someone else to respect you and to respect what you feel and to respect what you think when you don't even respect what you think? You don't even respect what you feel, because you feel inadequate. You feel like you can't share, like you have nothing good to contribute. Okay? Who said that you didn't have anything good to contribute but you? I didn't hear anyone say that. I didn't hear anyone say that but you. Okay? So it kind of reminds me of when Moshe was being commissioned by the Most High. The Most High, he acted like the Most High didn't know. I mean, either he felt like the Most High didn't speak Hebrew, like he missed that part when Moshe said, "See, I got a speech impediment." He acted like the Most High didn't know that, right? He didn't get the memo that the Most High was like, look, dude, I got you. Calm down. I got you. No, no, no. See. Get somebody else. I mean, and the Most High got mad. The Most High got upset with him, right? But he kept dealing with his own insecurities, even though he's standing in the presence of the Most High. We do the same thing. We do the same thing all the time. We're telling him, or we're feeling what we can't do, what we can't be, what we can't make happen, or we're magnifying this wicked world around us to be greater than the word of the Most High. And we're magnifying the wickedness, we're magnifying what the wicked elite is doing, we're magnifying all the madness, we're magnifying this agenda, that agenda, above what the Most High has said, and you know what? It is an issue. Well, I could continue, but let's just simply move on, because as we take a look here, the Most High says, you know, this is key, this is important. You are definitely going to have to get a grip on yourself before you can follow the laws, statutes, and the commandments the way that you are supposed to. Only take heed to yourself and keep your soul diligently, lest you forget the things which you have seen, and lest they depart from your heart all the days of your life. But teach them to your sons and to your sons' sons. This is why, you know, psychology is very important. It goes along with spirituality, which is why you need to check out some psychology and make sure that you're watching your own soul and your own mind and taking heed unto yourself. So as we take a look here and we move forward, there's rich things right here in Deuteronomy 4. In 4 and 13, we find out that the 10 Commandments is a covenant. Moshe drops that bomb, and then he moves onward, okay? And he lets them know that, understand that when you heard the word coming from the mountain, coming the law, notice you didn't see any strange Elohim. You didn't see any graven images. You didn't see anything like that. The Most High letting us know that we're dealing with a real individual here, okay? And then Moshe begins to talk to them, and really he's trying to drive home the fact that they need to definitely keep the laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High if they want to enter into the land. Okay? Now, it was going to get scary for them. And I'm getting to, let me get back to that verse in, let me get back to that verse, because we were in 3 and 28, right? Where it says, basically, Joshua, I want you to encourage him and strengthen him. I'm going back here for a reason, because this word inherit, okay, it says, and he shall cause them to inherit the land. And I just want to highlight that for a second. He shall cause them to nachal. He shall cause them to get or take as a possession. Notice, take as a possession. It wasn't going to be handed to them on a platter. But they were assigned to take it as a possession. In other words, this is also akin to the word yaresh, which is a different word in Hebrew to inherit, and it means to take by military force. Now, this word yaresh was used by the Most High to Abraham, okay, when he made one of his covenants and one of his appearances to Abraham in chapter 17 of Bereshit, of Genesis. And he says, you know what, you need to understand that, yeah, you are. And see, Abraham went to the Most High with his insecurity. You haven't given me a son. I said, you haven't given me a son? and you can kind of hear it. You can kind of hear it in Moses's, kind of like in his pleadings. You can hear it because Moshe is like, when I was 75 years old, you promised me a son, but man, you still ain't gave me no son. But I mean, he didn't want to charge the Most High like that, but he's like, man, you promised this to me when I was 75. Because he said, you know, this Eliezer is going to be my heir. Most High said, no, you are going to have a son, you are going to have a child, and oh, by the way, guess what? All of this land is going to be yours. You shall inherit it. Well, when the Most High said inherit to Abram, he said Yaresh. He said you are going to inherit it militarily. Okay, by means of a military conquest, it is going to change into your hands. And so that's, it's an understandable reason, but that's why Abram was like, wait, whoa, how do I know? I mean, I know you're Elohim, but how do I know that I'm gonna actually do that? Like, what? I'm gonna be such a great army that I can do all that? He's like, look, I don't know that I know that. Most High said, okay, time to cut the covenant. Well, Yaresh is to possess militarily. And so that word Nachal that we just looked at is another version of that word that means to take, it means literally to take possession of. It has nothing to do with inheritance, but it has everything to do with taking possession of. And the promised land is something that is, what's given to you is the opportunity. Okay, let me say it that way. What we see here is that what is given to you is the opportunity, but what you have to take, okay, is the promised land. No one's going to give that to you. You got to take it. Now, let this be a lesson to all of us, because this speaks to us even on whatever level of success that we're trying to get, that we're trying to scratch and claw for. It's not something that's going to be given to you. Too many of us want things to be given to us, right? You are going to have to earn it. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to work that thing out. Nothing's going to be given to you, right? But you're going to have to take possession of it by means of being strategic, by means of being strong, by means of being wise. And as we see here, fulfilling the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High. Let me do this. I want to get back into some of these other scriptures. We're going to do that. I need to take just a quick little break, get something to drink, clear my throat. I'll be right back. Hi, I'm Melchior Uriel, and I'm so delighted to meet you. I'm glad that you stopped by. I'm glad that you're curious, and I'm glad that you clicked on the video. All right, I'm back. Let's dig in just a little bit further, okay? And we're going to touch upon some other things here. As I said, I'm not going to read every verse, but we're just going to touch upon the Torah reading for today. And we are going to, I'm sure that you can read the Torah portion for yourself. Again, it is Deuteronomy 3:23 all the way through to 7:11. So we're not going to hit every verse, right? And we want you to just read that for yourself, but I'm just making some highlights and some points, and then we're going to open it up for questions, okay? But let's dig back in. Let's dig back in, okay? Because Moshe is really, again, remember this as a deathbed kind of a last effort to fulfill your destiny, okay? That's the way that I look at Deuteronomy. So it is very serious, right? Notice what Moshe is saying in verse 26 of chapter 4. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day. Man, this is strong stuff. This is strong stuff. You have to understand, when the ancients would raise their voice this way and say, I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, these weren't just words, okay? Remember the blessing of Esau. Remember the blessing of Jacob, okay? Basically, once he was blessed by his father, that was it. And it could not be undone. Esau came in and said, hey, is not there another blessing for me? And he's like, I've already made you his servant. Your brother is already more powerful than you. Why? You see, the patriarchs back in the day had a strength and a power that we ourselves, we long to walk on that level, that level, that magnitude of strength and power. But they had a connection, and when they spoke, when they said things, I'm telling you, they brought and issued in a whole new reality, right? They could issue in a whole new reality into these things. And it's just one of those things where the Most High would hear them, and heaven would obey them. Okay, the Most High would hear them. And so when Moshe says, look, I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land whereunto you go over Jordan to possess it. It said, look, y'all gonna mess up. And you shall not prolong your days upon it, but you shall be utterly destroyed. Moshe was saying these things, and he's really trying to get Israel to hear, to understand that, you know what, you have to have a heart for this, to make this a way of life. This is not something you do just because I'm standing in front of you. This has to be a way of life, and he is really trying to drill this into them. Okay? Now, I'm going to also hit on something else here, because this really speaks into the literary tradition, okay, of Moses' day and even of our heritage. I want you to see here, after he gives them, he reiterates the 10 Commandments, right? Thou shalt not kill, neither shalt thou commit adultery, right? Neither shall you steal, neither shall you bear false witness, neither shall you desire, basically don't covet. When it comes to verse number 22, I want you to notice something here. These words of Yah spake unto all, these words Yah spake unto all your assembly in the mount, out of the midst of the fire, out of the cloud, and of the thick darkness, with a great voice, and he added no more. And he wrote them in 2 tablets of stone, and delivered them unto me. So now, the reason why this is important is because we know that there are others of the Sephardim and of the Ashkenazim who say, well, there is a Torah Baal Peh, there is a oral law that the Most High has given unto Moshe. But here we see, he says, these words are the words that were spoken. They were written down, and the Most High didn't add any more to them. Okay, so again, Moses is saying, look, this is it. This is what you need to obey. This is what you need to follow. But he's saying that these are the words you need to follow, and there are no other words. According to Deuteronomy 5:22, the theory of the Torah Baal Peh, the oral law, it is not substantiated, neither is it validated, not at all. Okay, now, in concept, the people of this day did have a different context that they understood things in far more than us, right? And so yeah, they had a different background, had a different worldview, had a different context, and so yeah, there's some things we're never going to be able to embrace like they did. But please understand that according to this verse here, there is no such thing as the oral law. Either you rip Deuteronomy 5:22 out of the Torah, out of the Tanakh, or you get rid of that concept of the oral law. Look at, as we continue forward, I'm just mentioning to you some highlights, okay? Notice what it reads in Deuteronomy 6:10. You shall fear Yah Eloheka and serve him, and you shall swear by his name. He wants you to call out his name. I know that today they're like, don't say the name, say this, say that, say Hashem. I say Yah, and it's no problem if you say Hashem, or if you say, Elohim. I say Yah because of what is written in Psalms 68:4. But let's continue, because this is one of our key verses here. This is our key scripture right here in Deuteronomy 6:25. Now, for those of you that are new to this channel and don't know what this answers, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this very plain. This here completely defies Christianity, 1,000%. This verse alone completely destroys Christianity. Deuteronomy 6:25. What do you mean it completely destroys Christianity? Well, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take you into a verse of scripture. And by the way, this is the Christian challenge, okay? This is the Christian challenge. This is the first Christian challenge that I did. I haven't had anyone to step to the mic, right? But I want you to notice what the Apostle Paul said in Galatians 2:21. He says, I do not frustrate the grace of God, for if righteousness come by the law, then Christ is dead in vain. Didn't say he died and rose. He said he is dead in vain. My. Okay. And I messed myself up here. Yeah, that's the wrong side. Oh, I need to be over here. There we go. Okay, so long story short, this reads that if righteousness come by the law, then Christ is dead in vain. I didn't ask him to say it, but he did, right? So let's go back into Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 6. We're all the way into 6:25. And notice what it reads in Deuteronomy 6:25. Let me scroll it up for you a little bit. And it shall be our what? It shall be our righteousness. It shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Yah, our Elohim, as he hath commanded us. There you go. It completely undermines Christianity and lets you know that their so-called crucified Savior is a falsity. It is fake. It is not true, because it is true that righteousness does come by the law. Okay? It is true that righteousness comes by the law. You have it right there in Deuteronomy 6:25. Okay? And then, of course, you can hear in other writings that the Apostle Paul says that righteousness does come by the law. Which is why I sometimes I believe that the Apostle Paul was really a literary invention by a committee. I think that maybe I think that someone was purposely writing and putting themselves out there as an Apostle Paul. But anyway, so this is one of those verses that you need to hold on to. It's Deuteronomy 6:25. It reads that since righteousness does come by the law, then yes, JC is dead in vain, which is what that scripture said, Galatians 2:25. Then we get into chapter 7, and there's promise that the Lord will root out all the people in the land, right? And it says that you are to utterly, now please keep in mind, in context of the people of the land where they are dwelling, it says that you are to make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them, okay? Neither shall you make marriages with them, your daughter. Don't give your daughter to your son, and your son to their daughter, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve their gods. So will the anger of Yah be kindled against you and destroy you suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art an holy people unto Yah Eloheka, the Lord your God. And the Lord your God hath chosen you to be a special people unto himself above all people of the earth. Yah did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, or even that you were Israel, or that you're of the bloodline of somebody, or blah, blah, blah. No, he didn't choose you for that matter, For ye were the fewest of all people, but because Yah loved you, and because he would keep the oath, the commandment, which he had sworn unto your fathers. I don't want this to hit me in the shoulder. Let me move up. He had sworn unto your fathers, hath Yah brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore that Yah Eloheka, he is Elohim, the faithful Elohim, which keep mercy and covenant with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. When you follow the law, statutes, and the commandments, you are setting your family up for a relationship with the Most High and to walk in the covenant for 1,000 generations. That is mighty. Look at that. That is just absolutely amazing. Verse number 10, last verse. And repays them that hate him to their face to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hates him. He will repay him to his face. With that being stated, I've gone through very quickly. I've gone through the Torah portion for this week, and so what I want to do is, hey, let's see what you all are talking about in the chat room. And what I want to do is, I'm going to take a quick little break, and then we're going to get questions, and we're going to have some conversation, and then we're going to let you enjoy. We're going to let you enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. So, be right back. There are increasing numbers of Hebrew Israelites all over the world, from Asia to Africa, from Mexico to Germany. There are Hebrew Israelites that are coming together as a nation and as a family, and you are needed. You are needed to take your place as the educator of your families, your sons, your daughters. So we want you to enroll in Navi Beit University so that you can take your place in the kingdom. Now is the time to prepare to create Hebraically centered scholarly materials to educate others, to teach your family, to teach your sons, your daughters, to teach the young, to teach the old, and to bring them into the knowledge of the Most High. The Most High is gathering us together as he has promised. So enroll in Navi Beit University, connect with the administrator and the registrars, and enroll today for just $35 for a bachelor's per month, or $45 for a master's, or even enroll in the doctorate's program. You can get a degree with a Hebraic focus at Navi Beit University. Hebraic education, undergraduate, graduate, and specialty courses. All right, we are back, and you know what? If I have said anything that makes you feel like, oh my God, oh what do I owe? I don't know what to. Man, he said that, and now I'm just. Then you can go ahead and you can ask your questions. Time for you to ask right now, and please, by all means, address me so that I'll know that you're not talking to someone else in the chat room, and also the call-in line. Let's see. Let's make sure that it's open. Is it open? Yeah, the call-in line is open right now. It's open. It's open. It's open. So you can call in. The number is scrolling on the bottom of the screen. And as well, yeah, you can go ahead and you can ask your questions. So, all right. Do smash the like button. Do share the video. Do subscribe. If you are not subscribed, come on, subscribe. We are... listen, we are sneaking up on 500. We definitely, listen, you can help us to reach 500. Please help us to reach 500. Man, that is going to be a benchmark for us. And, hey, we do have a call. Shalom, shalom. Peace and blessings to you, my brother.
Shalom, peace and blessings to you, Marie. How are you?
Good. It is very good to hear your voice again, brother.
Likewise. I was listening to you talk, and it inspired me, and I want to encourage our family. So, I was hearing you talk about going and taking the land, taking it, you know. Uh, it's always two nations that stands in Israel's way. It's stagnation and procrastination.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. Yeah.
but we've been promised blessings and success or what have you. But I want to encourage our family to put Yahuwah to the test.
Yeah.
He says in 7 Psalm 84:11 says, "No good thing will Yah withhold from them that walk uprightly."
Yes. Yes.
So knowing that He cannot lie nor fail, I'm encouraged to put Him to the test, and our family do the same thing. He loves us, and He's going to give us the good of the land. Treat us with the heritage of Jacob if we keep His commandments.
Yes.
So I just want to encourage our family. I love you all. Peace and blessings to you all. Enjoy Shabbat.
Well, thank you, my brother. We love you too. Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Shalom.
Shalom, my brother. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Love it, love it, love it. That's a good admonition. You know, we have to remember that back then in these days, they didn't have government programs, or they didn't have giveaways with this or giveaways with that. The only thing that they had was what the Most High allotted for them to have. And we understand that the Most High Himself has made a way for us to be blessed. But guess what? There are some blessings you really need to get up off of your hind end, and you need to make sure that you go get what belongs to you. You may have to fight for something. I'm not talking about fisticuffs and weapons and so forth and so on. I'm not talking about that. But what I am talking about is I'm talking about you having to be strategic and take over a particular, let's say you want to take over a particular market or product. I mean, you can do that, right? I'll never forget, I don't know if you all have JJ chicken and fish where you're at, but there was, when one of the first JJ chicken and fish places came to town here where I'm at, there was a Muslim brother who was, an Arab brother, I should say, who was running that store. And he was talking to someone that I know that also had a store. And he said, nice store you have there. He says, well, thank you, right? But he says, you're not going to be in business long. And the guy was shocked. He's like, what do you mean I'm not going to be in business long? He says, because we supply the goods that you sell in your store. We are your supplier. Now, I own JJ Fish and Chicken, but we are our own suppliers. We have our own supply, and no one can cut us out of business. Okay? There's something very, there's a video that's going around on YouTube where this brother, and let me retell this, if you don't mind. This brother retells this, and it's a joke, but it's designed to really make you think. So he says, it was girls' night out, and I'm giving you my own spin on it. It says, it's girls' night out, and you had, a Chinese girl and a white girl, and you had an Indian girl, and you had a Mexican girl, right? And you had a black girl there, right? And so, they start talking, next thing you know, they got all, I don't know if they had one too many drinks, but they start talking about each other, and all of a sudden, someone said something about the white girl, and the white girl said, look, you better watch yourself, because my man runs everything. My man runs governments. My man controls the whole world, so you better watch out what you say to me. Then the Chinese girl stood up and she said, look, you better watch out how you talk to me, because my man runs technology and we have goods and services all over this planet. You better watch how you talk to me. Well, then the Mexican girl rose up and she says, well, you better watch how you talk to me, because, hey, we're laborers and we get the job done. Whether you need your roof done or you need something else done, we're the cooks in your kitchen. We do your roof. We do, landscaping. We cut your lawn. We do your cement. We pour. You better watch out, because if you mess with us, you won't get anything done. We'll cut you off. And the black girl Didn't have anything to say, right? And so the brother asked the question. He said, what have we as black men given to our women to say that they can hold on to, a legacy, posterity, right? Well, now that's not our discussion for today. But the answer to that is to be able to take a piece of the pie and write your name on it. Take a piece of whatever it is and write your name on it, right? Control something. Get something and control. Now, this brother actually suggested that we take control of trash and garbage. I mean, I think we can aim a lot higher than that, right? When you consider that Africa owns the minerals and resources that the world needs, what would happen if Africa woke up and said, hey, you better watch how you talk to us? Because without us, you will have no laptops, no cell phones, no anything. You will not have diamonds for your woman's finger. You won't have anything, right? But that kind of respect only comes when you tap into power. Now, it's interesting, it's ironic, because on this week I had an opportunity, and I know that this is not even on the subject, but hey, no one's asked any questions anyway, so I'm going to say this and then I'm going to do my conclusion, and I guess we're out. But I stumbled across a book that I saw that's actually in my Audible library, and it's the book on the laws of power. And I was repulsed by the thought of myself, operating under those guidelines of deceit and deception and trickery and all of that. But it dawned on me. It dawned on me. While I may be repulsed at operating that way, okay, I may be repulsed, but this is the system that we have been deeply embedded into. And if you would take that book, The 42 Laws of Power, and just simply gain an now for me, it's hard to stomach because I can't imagine myself dealing that way. But it's different when you understand that this is the way people are treating you, and this is why they're treating you that way. So with that being the case, I just simply want to say, when you look at the 42 laws, you'll understand that yes, we do need power, but we need power in the right way. And to look at the 42 laws of power, it's simply the way that people are treating us, right? And so we can find a way to circumvent that. I do see a comment here. I think this may be the only one that we have. This is coming from my sister. There's a few comments. She says, I am needing to move because there's a million Mexican restaurants, but they are missing the flavors of Willie's. Okay, and she said, yeah, she heard of the video that I was talking about. And then something is addressed to me. She says, I believe that our nation returned to captivity when our schools integrated. Do you think there will ever be a way that we can segregate our communities for new hope to arise? And that's a question for me. I think that that's already in the works. There's a rise in cities and towns that are becoming polarized with color, okay? And I'm talking about even in Africa, okay? There's in Rwanda, there's a city now where, black people can't even enter into that city. It's a whites only city. And I think that something is happening here, and I know that people have said, well, if Rump gets back in office, that it's, we're going to go back to the 50s and there's going to be Jim Crow all over again. I really do believe that the stage is being set for that, though I do not subscribe to the reinstitution of Jim Crowism. I will say this. When you take a look at what is already at play, there's already a polarization that is already at work. Now, there's many people working to, to stay integrated and to stay whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I think that things are changing. And I just, it's a crazy world out here. There's a lot going on. There is a great deal of polarization. I don't know if you all remember, but during the time of, President UMP, there was a lot of polarization, right? And there were more hate crimes being perpetrated, at least more that we heard about, right? And if he gets back in office, I fear that same thing is going to happen. Now, there is also a comment that was not addressed to me that I do want to mention. Menelik says, taking control of any part of this world and this man dominion, consider the prophet Daniel and Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Iron and clay doesn't mix. That's why I would advocate taking it and controlling it as part of the kingdom, okay? Which, when you do it by means of the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High, and for the intent and purposes that the Most High has established, that then, yes, I believe that if you take it for the kingdom, right, then it is no longer of this world, but it is of the kingdom. And we know that whenever the Most High moves with his hand, he wears a human glove. So we are cooperating with the Most High, and we're moving on behalf of the Most High, but we're doing it in a way as to follow the law, statutes, and the commandments, and not against the Most High, right? But we're doing it for. So let's just simply do this. So, all right, I don't see anything else addressed to me. So with this being the case, I mean, yeah, we are in a place where and see, Uriah Lesh, I don't know if that's a question or if that's something addressed to me. Okay, I don't know if that's a rhetorical question or not. But I need oh. Oh, okay, so Uriah Lesh said, I'm talking to you. Oh, that was funny. Okay, so let me go back up to your comment. Let me go back up to your comment and let's see. Okay, so Uriah Lesh asked the question, how to take back our confidence as individuals and children of Israel. Okay. This is the way I believe that we will take back our own confidence, right? And we will walk as the children of Israel. Because ultimately, the whole kind of joke thing about, the white girl and the Indian girl and the Chinese girl and so forth and so on. Ultimately, if we were to be involved in that mix, we would not be talking about a black girl, but we would be talking about an Israelite woman, correct? So the question would be, what do Israelite men give Israelite women to be able to stand on? And the way that we would keep our confidence, okay, is this. It's going to come with us being unified and understanding that we are a unit together. We are family. But then we're going to have to demonstrate that we have each other's back. We're going to have to demonstrate that we are one for all and all for one, that we do follow the laws, statutes, and the commandments. We are going to have to really embrace one another as we should in unity. And we're going to have to really, like my brother Adrian said, we're going to have to put the Most High to the test, right? And we're going to have to stretch out there and say, you know what? Let's get together. Let's be unified. But guess what? Let's strategically look at a particular. Let's look at a particular commodity or a particular piece of land or something that we could use, and then begin to use that strategically, right? And build up our own power base. That's what it's going to take in order for the kingdom of the Most High to be demonstrated here on earth. Now, of course, the Most High can just, do all of this himself. I do believe that we're going to have to cooperate with the Most High, though. I don't think he's going to do everything for us. We are going to have to cooperate. Remember the template of Israel. They had to go in, they had to possess, they had work to do. And if you look at Isaiah 65, when we enter into this blessed time, this blessed season where we're living for hundreds of years, we're living like trees, guess what? We're still going to have to build our houses. We're still going to have to plant our vineyards. We're still going to have to do all the work that we would do, even in the kingdom, even with living long life. So you can't be squeamish of work. You got to embrace the work. You got to let it be therapy. You got to let it be enjoyable, but you have to love doing, and you got to go ahead and do what you need to do. So we need to join together, be unified, and I think that would help us to be confident on a level. Then we have to get together and strategize, and I think that's going to give us confidence on another level. And then we have to begin to act on that, okay? And again, being self-sufficient every step of the way, and that is going to give us another level of confidence that I think is going to be unbreakable, okay, and unbearable to some. So with that being the case, I'm looking, and you know what? I do not see any other. Okay, Yakahi says, even though this is not addressed to me, I'm going to go ahead and read it. She says, we are waiting for the men of Israel to rise up, go forth, and take back our land. We don't have any stake in the game here, but in our own land. Let me say this. That is very true. And by the way, Uriah Lesh, yes, I do teach Hebrew at the university. And I hear what you're saying, Yeshua Yahonli Cooper. He says, I believe this process has already begun within the borders of Africa. And I see the potential for it, and I hear you. I want to agree with you. But there are so many African leaders that are led, basically they are puppets of the West. They are puppets of the American dollar, and they're puppets of Great Britain and Europe, to where they will acquiesce to them and they will turn around and just lay down for them. So you're right, things are developing, things are happening, but will they lay down? Are they going to continue, right? Are they going to continue to do what's right? That is something that needs, we need to see, we need to know. I don't think we know that just yet. I think we see what's going on. It looks positive, it looks great. Peace and blessings to you, it's all good. Yeah. And you're right, they do. They sell out, these African leaders do sell out their people for money, okay? I'm trying to think of the name of the guy that, let me see here. What is the name? There is an African billionaire that created his own oil refinery, okay? And his name is Aliko Dangote, okay? Aliko Dangote actually he built his own oil refinery. Why? Because Africa actually takes its oil and they ship it out to be refined, okay? Let me show you this here. Hold on, let me show you this. So this is the oil refinery that this billionaire built. And do you know that the leaders of Africa will not give him oil from their own continent to refine? They are cooperating with those who are exploiting Africa, okay? But Dangote has done a lot. He's done a lot to actually change this would be the beginning of the end of dominance of the West if they did this. I'm telling you, the dominoes will begin to fall. But the leaders have said, no, we are not going to give you oil, okay, for your refinery. We're not, Africa's not going to use your refineries. We're going to send our oil to our, to our European, we're going to send them elsewhere, and we're going to just continue to pay more money for what we already have. We want to be ruled by the West. This is what they're saying. Okay? And it's all because they're getting their palms greased. Now, no pun intended, I'm talking about oil refineries and greasing palms. But here's the issue. Here's the issue. Those who are getting their palms greased in Africa by these Western, leaders and countries don't realize they could grease their own palms if they just, oh my goodness, if they just took the resources that they have and used them for themselves. Right? Oh my goodness. Burkina Faso kicked out France, right? Nigeria also said, hey, we're not going to play these games anymore. And so long story short, I mean, these countries are upset. They're like, what? You mean you're going to charge us? And now if other countries, if other African controllers of the resources have the same fate, then, hey, the world is going to change as we know it. And I think that that's already on the horizon. I think it's something that is already forthcoming. But hey, it's one of those things that it just, I'm telling you, with who we're dealing with, I wouldn't be surprised if they would try to just start a war in Africa and just take over everything. Because it's like, there's no way that we can have them undermine the oil dollar, okay? The dollar has got to stay on top. And if we don't do that, then you know what? So, hey, we're these people are interesting. These people are interesting, and they feel like they're powerful enough to take any and everything that they want, okay? So this is the end. This is the end of our discussion. And my brother Gilbert says, and by the way, I will look for your email. I will look for your email concerning joining the platinum group at the Founders Table. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much, Gilbert. I appreciate that. Haiti, Jamaica, Bahamas, their leaders are selling our people out, and it's sickening, and it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad because, they look, when I was, I went to Ghana, right? And what I saw over there was sickening to me. I'm just going to leave it at that. But they are more brainwashed than what we have ever been. I'm telling you, they're more brainwashed than we have ever been. I'm just saying. But now, I will say this, tongue-in-cheek, many of them are waking up. All of them do not worship Europe and do not worship, in Christianity the way that you think. So, that being the case, okay, so Uriah Lesh asked the question, can you expand more on your university? Right now, the university is being, basically we are revamping everything. We're revamping the educational structure. There's more courses being added. And right now, because we are at this stage of the accreditation process, the prices for entry, the prices per credit hour is very, very low. It is going to increase once we have revamped everything, because we will be farther down the line of accreditation, and in it you will be able to get with the new system. Right now you can't get an associate's degree at the university. We started you out at bachelor's, okay, but once the system is redone and it's being reformatted, you will be able to get an associate's, okay? You'll be able to get an associate's in Tanakh studies, an associate's, okay, in ministry. Then you'll be able to get a bachelor's, master's, and doctorate in Tanakh studies, okay? Also in ministry, also in theology, and also in divinity, okay? So I could say more about it, but it is there's also an elective of Hebrew, taking Hebrew, biblical Hebrew. Well, biblical Hebrew is mandatory for the degrees, but there's another elective of modern Hebrew. You can actually take modern Hebrew if you want to become fluent in Hebrew. So I could say more about that, but it's an online university, and it's no joke. The courses are no joke. So you have to be willing to really study and to dig in. It is what it is. It is a Hebraic university. And something else I want to say about the university. Thank you for asking about this. Something else about the university. Also, there will be courses for Hebraic living. What do I mean by that? Courses on how to cook, how to sew, how to plant your own garden, basically how to be self-sufficient as a Hebrew, and how to do it according to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Basically, we're talking about self-sufficiency, okay, from a Hebrew perspective. Those courses also will be available, okay, and there's so much more that I could say about the university. But I do see my name on a couple of these comments. Let me dig into that. And I got to read what my brother Gilbert is saying here. He said, we have such power. We have so much power. My goodness, we have failed to see and know it. And that's true. Just speaking alone, like you said, from the elders, they were powerful. It always comes to pass what was spoken. Very true. Very true. See, I long to see where, like the end result of the university, is where we are living as a community, where we are restored as a family, where the power is restored to the family, the power is restored to the parenthood, okay, where the woman and the man, they rule side by side. We're strong, we're holy, we flow in the things of the Most High, and we are completely self-sufficient, and we have our order back, our glory back, our structure. And there is hope for our children to be able to respect adults again, and respect the lineage and respect ancestors. I'm talking about things being put together where society is healed, where we all walk according to the laws. We don't steal from one another. Excuse me, I've been talking a lot. Let me get something to drink. And so, we have to teach them and train them with our own cultural memories and with our own cultural agendas. Every culture has an agenda. Every people group has an agenda, okay? And we must teach our children with our goals in mind and with our longevity in mind, okay? They are our tomorrow. And a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So we have got to absolutely make sure that we do the right thing by the generations that are to come. Another comment that I see here coming from Sister Jacqueline Bugs. She says, you should watch Mike TV too. Watch now. Africans are unstable in their thinking. They want to come to America. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because they have been, because of the media. See, the media has not only done a job on us and showing us little African babies, and they got this can of flies that they open up, and you got flies all over the baby and everything, and Africa's so poor. Media has done that to us, but they've also done a job on them. And they make them think that America is the promised land. And when I was over there, when I was in Ghana, I shocked some people that I were talking to, because I let her know, and I let them know. I said, hey, they are trying to kill us, right? They were shocked. She was shocked, right? She was absolutely shocked, this lady I was talking to. And she, because in her mind is just, oh, America is this promised land, America, oh, America. I'm like, no, look, I'm trying to get over here, okay? And the reason why I'm trying to get over here is because they are trying to kill us. it's just one of those things where you're right. They are trying their best to get over here, you know. Um, and I don't know if somebody was kidding or not, but they asked me for a ticket to come over here. I'm like, oh, shoot, and buy, you know, ticket to come to America. Are you kidding me? But all of them want to come to America, right? All of them want to come to America. And you know what? You know what? I say let them come. I say let them come, right? And when I say that, it reminds me of that scene. And by the way, my brother is so funny. Bergen Paris found this scene that I was talking about that I'm going to mention again. But it's the scene on this show called Titus where the kid is playing with the electrical socket. And the mother's like, no, no, don't do that. And the father's like, no, no. Go ahead. Let them play with it. Let them play. So I'm like, go ahead. Let them come over here. They will get a rude awakening. They will get a rude awakening as to what this is over here and what it's all about. Yeah, I agree with you, my sister Jacqueline. Yeah, yeah, they're being brainwashed just like we have been, right? Yeah, my sister Repentant Save said, that's right, side by side, not head, tail, right? Side by side, man and woman walking together side by side. Uh, so let me Yeshua Yakuper, only Cooper says, we would love to trade places. They can have America and let us have Africa. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? And it's one of those things where, man, I mean, can you imagine being in a place where your garden could grow all year round? Where you're able to drink pure water? Not a place like over here. Do you know that here in the United States they have sanctioned adding to the water system the liquefied dead people? They have sanctioned eating laboratory meat. There are plastics in a number of products that we have. Some of the rice is nothing more than plastic. Some of the potato chips that you eat are actually plastic. Some of the cereals have metal in them. Are you kidding me? No, we would gladly. I would gladly. You know. So listen, we're having some good conversation. We're discussing some good things here. However, we've gone so far outside of the lines. And hey, I just simply want to say, we are here in this place where we're at. A lot of good things have been mentioned in the Torah portion. Let us take heed to ourselves. Do your own psychology. Dig into your own soul, your own heart. No one is going to take care of you but you. No one else has that responsibility. There is no way that you could follow and keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High unless you watch yourself and take control of your own psychology and your own spirituality. You will not make it. Okay? It will not work. You will not be able to do it. With that being the case, I admonish you all, enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. Remember that we are family. I love each and every one of you. I'm so glad that each of you came out. Each and every one of you, I'm so glad that you are here. From my brother Bergen Paris to my brother and sister Josh and Penny, I appreciate you being here, right? And yeah, Yakahi, yeah, listen. Growing your own food and having everything that you need right there on your property. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. My sister Jacqueline Bugs has a comment. She says, they now have a watermelon that will steal the life from you because it will take the water from your body. Yeah, I mean, listen, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And I want to say this before I leave, because this is something that was definitely on my mind before I came on. I need you all to understand that you cannot trust the water and the food here in the United States. You cannot trust any of it unless you have produced it yourself, unless you have made it yourself, grown it yourself. It's gotten to the point where you cannot trust anything that you eat. And it seems to be getting worse. So the solution is begin now to grow your own in-home, right? Go to a store and get some soil that does not have nanoparticles in it. Get some pots, grow your stuff in your own home. That is my suggestion, okay? I want to thank each and every one of you, my sister Kanaya Israel. Peace and blessings to you, my sister. It's all good. Peace and blessings to you. My brother Gilbert, I'm glad that you're here. Josh and Penny, I'm so glad that you are with us. And, oh, my brother George Evans is in the building. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. All right, all right, all right. I'm glad that you're here. Yeah, I agree with you. We need to go like yesterday. I agree with you. Yes, we do. So I want to give a shout out to each and every one of you. I appreciate you. Yakahi, Yeshua Yah Only Cooper. It's all good. My sister Jacqueline E. Bugs. My sister Repentant and Saved. My brother George Evans. Ben Naphtali. Peace and blessings to you. All of you. I appreciate you. I love you. My sister Uriah Lesh, peace and blessings to you. I'm so glad that you were here. Thank you, my sister, for blessing us with your presence. Come on back, join the fam. And Minelek, you were out here also. Peace and blessings to you. Who else? Who else did I miss? Who else? Who else up in the house? Who else? I think I got everybody. But if I missed you, hey, don't charge it to my heart. Charge it to my head, like they say. And yeah, I think that's it. I think we're good. You know what? Enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. May the Most High bless you. May the Most High keep you. This has been wonderful. This has been great. I enjoyed it. Yah willing, we'll see you on Yom Arba'ah. Peace and blessings. We'll see you.